is next year? Let's ask Republican Congressman Buddy Carter, the state of Georgia. Good to see you, Congressman Carter. So, we try to play this up, House versus Senate, but it is, and because otherwise, quite frankly, it's a very, very boring story. People don't like to talk about reconciliation bills, right? But what's going to happen here? And because the real story is, are you guys going to be able to get anything done, advance the president's agenda?
Well, we are going to advance the president's agenda. Now, look, let me make it clear. I prefer one bill. And the reason for that is you have to keep in mind the Senate has more of a majority than we do in the House right now. They've got a 3-seat majority plus the vice president. We've only got a 1-seat majority right now. Ours is very, very tight. And within our Republican conference, we've got a number of factions, if you will. Everyone cares about extending the tax cuts. Everyone cares about the border. Everyone cares about the debt. But there are some people who do care a lot about SALT. And in order to leverage all of those things, you have to have it in one bill. If you separate them out, you lose your ability to leverage things. And that's why we feel like one bill is better. But let me make it clear, if the Senate bill does come before the floor in the House, and it does advance the president's First America agenda, then I'll vote for it.
Right. But the margins on your side are so tight, right? That's the real issue, is that you can't lose you can barely lose anyone.
We can't.
Right.
That's all there is to it. And again, let me stress that, there are some people in our conference who correctly say, look, if we don't do something about SALT, we're not going to be back next year and you're not going to be in the majority. And that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the ability to deduct state and local taxes. What is your view on that, by the way? Your view?
Oh, it was quite a change when we went from unlimited tax write-offs on SALT to limited at $10,000. And the president has addressed that, and he has made it clear. Look, there's a number we can agree on. There's a number out there everybody can agree on. Mm-hmm. I do think that it's ludicrous that those people in the Northeast have such high taxes.
Well, but that's the thing. It's a regional issue sometimes, right? That issue is a regional issue, not necessarily your left-right issue, because around here, people have a different feeling than they do in other states. Here
exactly.
being New York, right? Yeah, so we'll see how that one works out. Can we talk about DOGE for a minute and all the cuts and everything else? Because we do have another federal judge ruling that just came in. We've had a lot of these lately, and the administration's been getting some wins in the courts now after going through some challenges early on. This federal judge just cleared the way for the administration to pull thousands of USAID staffers off the job. So apparently they're going to be allowed to move forward with those cuts. Your reaction to that, and then just your thoughts on the bigger picture moves here and how aggressive they've been, Elon Musk and company.
Well, I applaud Elon Musk and what his folks are doing in DOGE, and it is important. And I'm glad that the courts have ruled it this way. Look, the American people gave Donald Trump a mandate. 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. Overwhelmingly, the electoral vote, the popular vote, he won everything. And they said, we want you to shake things up. We don't want business as usual. We want to see things shaken up. And he is doing that. I would submit to you, in the first 4 weeks of his presidency, he is shaking more things up than any other president in a month's time.
How do your constituents feel about it? I think it's been interesting to watch. I mean, you probably saw what happened with Congressman McCormick. So when you're home in Georgia, do people agree with that, or they give you a hard time about some of this stuff? This conversation that the congressman had, I'll just play a quick clip of it. It was someone was asking him about Trump saying he's the king, that kind of thing, and then they got into it. The people were not happy and were not satisfied with his answer. Here's a quick clip.
I remember having the same discussion with Republicans when Biden was elected. A lot of you would probably say those January 6s who are yelling just as loud as you. Yelling at me is not going to get any answer. You are expensive to the people. You are expensive.
So, Congressman Carter, he was a Republican like you. I'm not asking if you see anything similar to that, but are the people on board with the same agenda that you're telling us you're on board with it, or are they worried at home?
Well, first of all, my friend and my colleague, Rich McCormick, I don't think those people represent the majority of his district. I think those are a lot of people who are dissatisfied Democrats who are there to voice their opinion. And yes, in my district, people were excited. They're excited that Elon Musk is weeding out waste, fraud, and abuse. After all, why wouldn't you be excited? Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, this is taxpayers' money. It's just as much a Democrat's money as it is a Republicans' money. Why wouldn't we be excited that they are doing these things and finding this waste, fraud, and abuse? And the president is doing what he told you he was going to do. He said, I'm going to shake things up, and he's shaking them up.
All right, Congressman Carter, it's good to see you again.